Good Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for stopping by Garden State Weather and gardenstateweather.blogspot.com, your source for weather information for the northern mid-Atlantic region, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and this is the daily video forecast discussion for Tuesday, the 3rd of December, 2013. Starting out with a plethora of cloud cover and clear sky across the region this morning, and under some of those clouds there is some fog, and it's a little dense this morning in a few spots, including coastal regions and interior sections away from the coast as well. We have some fog in the Newark, New York City metro area, and some freezing fog up in parts of New York, up the Hudson River Valley, up 84 there, and 87 rather, proper. And of course, as we go higher in elevations, northwestern New Jersey, parts of northeastern Pennsylvania, and the Poconos also seeing some fog this morning. Most of this fog is going to burn off after sunrise, and that means sunshine will predominate during the afternoon as temperatures rise this morning from the chilly starts of the upper 20s in a few spots in the Hudson River Valley and interior Connecticut into the low and mid 30s this morning in the New York City metro area, and also the mid and upper 30s here across southeastern Pennsylvania, central and southern New Jersey into the Delmarva this morning as well. In fact, parts of the Delmarva already reaching above the 40 degree mark this morning. Few watches, warnings, and advisories this morning from the National Weather Service. We have some coastal flood statement until 9 o'clock this morning, and this is for some areas right along the South Shore and east ends of Long Island, the north and south shores of Connecticut too, and Long Island, as a result of astronomical high tides around the high tide cycle this morning, pushing water in a little bit closer to the coast over the barriers there. And this will be in effect until around noontime today. We also have the same kind of thing here along the New Jersey coast as an area of low pressure here well out over the Atlantic produces a tightening pressure gradient, and the wind direction allowing some of the areas of water here to flow in along the coastal regions, producing some backwash here, some coastal flood advisories until 10 a.m. this morning as we finish through the high tide cycle. Smattering of low clouds this morning, some clearing patches too across the Hudson River Valley. There's some freezing fog interior Connecticut, and a weak shortwave here along a frontal boundary that's pushing back to the north and west away from our region this morning. Just a few light rain showers here in northeast southeastern New York, just to the west of interstate the Hudson River Valley right there. And outside of that, we're not really expecting much in the way of any precipitation today, with the cloud cover that's over us now of the low level variety that will be burning off during the morning hours, and increasing amounts of sunshine and warmer temperatures too. Morning weather map, courtesy of weatherroanoke.com. A digital atmosphere software shows a nearly stationary front just to the east of the Great Lakes now through western Pennsylvania. And we have some areas of fog this morning to the east with a weak flow and a surface wave out here over the ocean. That's producing the stronger wind field right along the immediate coast, allowing the wind field actually to produce the coastal flood advisories for parts of the New York, Long Island, Connecticut, southern Connecticut region, and also the immediate coastal regions here of the New Jersey, central and southern New Jersey coastal waters. Meanwhile, this will begin to wash out and move to our north and west as an area of low pressure gets going here across the upper Midwest. It gets up to the Great Lakes region by tomorrow. And that means that this area will become a warm front, and the warm front will be moving through the region later on Wednesday and Wednesday night and Thursday before the strong cold front comes through here late Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, and Friday. For the aviational deck today, tonight, and tomorrow, basically VFR conditions. We do have a little bit of MVFR conditions this morning right along outside of Newark, for example here. If we can get this pulled up here. We have a temperature of 36. The wind is out of the northeast rather, at about 5 knots. It's overcast, scattered clouds 7,500, broken 25,000. And basically going to see not a bad day today. Some scattered clouds 15,000, scattered clouds 25,000 throughout the afternoon. And the wind shift to the northwest or west rather at about 5 knots. The winds are going to be very weak, and generally not experiencing any problems here. A few clouds tomorrow morning, scattered at about 20,000, and 4,000 scattered to 20,000. Basically in the interstate regions of interior Connecticut, the Hudson River Valley, we have a little bit of freezing fog this morning. Visibility is down to a quarter of a mile in ice fog. Overcast conditions at 200 feet. This is where IFR conditions are present, and that will be lifting through the region a quarter mile in some freezing fog this morning. Currently, right now, expecting the atmosphere to brighten up there with scattered clouds at 25,000 feet later this morning, right after sunrise. A few clouds at 5,000 to 20,000 late this afternoon through the evening. And this area here will begin to improve. The freezing fog that's in the area right now, or the general fog, will be lifting through the area. For the Philadelphia metro area, broken clouds at 8,000, overcast at 10,000 this morning. Temperatures already up to 43, and the wind is out of the northwest. It's very light at about 5 knots, visibility 7 miles. Basically some overcast conditions this morning, and then ceilings improving with scattered cloud cover at 7 to 10,000 feet late this afternoon through early tonight. And the winds are variable at about 5 miles per hour or less, and visibility is improving to better than 10 miles. So generally VFR conditions throughout this region late this afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow. NamWRF composite reflectivity forecast from Penn State Seawall sites shows the cloud cover around the region. Actually, it's not showing it so well this morning with that dense fog. Models of this resolution not always able to pick up on that. We have a weak frontal wave or weak frontal boundary just to our west that's producing some clouds and basically a light spotty shower across portions of southeastern New York and northeastern Pennsylvania. Not very well modeled here, but also the fact of the matter is that the precipitation is very light and may not even be touching the ground at all. Wind flow today, a weak high pressure building into the region. Skies break for sunshine. Temperatures on the mild side today with a westerly component to the winds at the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. Temperatures responding back into the 50s, even lower 60s across southeastern Pennsylvania, the Delmarva region this afternoon. Maybe a little patchy fog across the terminals late tonight and tomorrow morning, maybe not as widespread as we had this morning. And basically a wave of low pressure moving up towards the Great Lakes drags a warm front in, and the winds turn to the south with increasing mid and high level cloud cover across the region during the day on Wednesday. But most of Wednesday should be a nice day, an increase of cloud cover, especially by late afternoon. We could find some light sprinkles in the air, or at least just cloudy skies at best for Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening as the warm front lifts through the region on Thursday, followed by a cold front that will be approaching the region and then stalling around the region later Thursday evening and Thursday night and Friday. That's going to set us up for some precipitation, mostly in the form of rain. Could be ending at a little sleet or even some snow with no accumulation likely. Maybe a dusting over the hills of northwest Jersey and the Poconos on Saturday morning. Then things really get interesting for the latter part of the weekend. We'll get into that in just a moment. Start things out with the GFS this morning, and it shows the wave of low pressure out here over the Atlantic coastal waters and moving away to our north and east. A coastal astronomical flood advisories here for New York and New Jersey will expire late this morning and early this afternoon. Basically high pressure at the surface and in the mid-levels as well, building in across the forecast region for late this afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow. So generally fair weather, mild temperatures too. And then we watch for a disturbance here, a low pressure area moving towards the Great Lakes region that will be dragging a warm front through the region with increasing cloud cover from Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday night, and we could get some light rain showers around here as the warm front moves to the north and through the region during the day on Thursday morning and Thursday afternoon. Cold front then comes through the region during Thursday night and Friday morning. One wave of low pressure along that frontal boundary begins to slide north and east away from the forecast region. The front begins to stall, and here's another wave of low pressure here modeled on the GFS for early Friday morning, actually Thursday night at around midnight. That comes through during the day on Friday morning, and most of this would be again in the period with periods of rain showers across the region on Friday morning and Friday afternoon as that wave lifts to the north and east. Here comes the second wave now. This is the one for Saturday, and this would be for Saturday morning, or Friday night actually, into Saturday morning. That wave of low pressure moves off the coast, and notice the front is still just pushing to the offshore here and away from the forecast region as weak high pressure, it's very strong Arctic high pressure actually builds across the upper Midwest into the eastern United States for late Saturday afternoon with drying conditions Saturday night and Sunday. Things get really interesting as the high begins to pull away to the north and east. We got still that cold air signature damming here on the isobars here, and this would be for Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Precipitation already showing up on the modeling across the Delmarva, and this could be in the form of some wintry precipitation as temperatures will now have fallen back into the 30s and even upper 20s to the far north and west on Sunday morning over the interior. As the precipitation begins to lift to the north and east, the model has indicated that, again, it's been washing this back and waving this back and forth between an inland track across the St. Lawrence River Valley with a secondary development jumping to the coast on Monday morning. It's still going to have some issues here with high pressure lifting to the north and east into Atlantic Canada. Which one of these solutions is going to be right, and how cold and thick the atmosphere will be. The thickness is below 540 decameters at 500 millibars, going to indicate the precipitation type, also the location of the high, and how much cold Arctic air is still in place here on Sunday night and Monday morning as the precipitation shield lifts to the north and east through the region will determine just how much precipitation will fall in the form of rain, especially central and east and south regions along the coast, New York City and Long Island, interior Connecticut, and how much of this could be snow on the northbound and northwestbound side of this disturbance. And we don't have the answers for this yet, but we're pretty confident that wintry precipitation is in the offing, especially for late Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and Monday morning. Most of the time in a transitional period where we find the polar vortex dropping further south and the Arctic front line to our north and west in a positive tilt fashion here. Notice the pressure gradient here in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere. These are the mean 500 millibar heights. It's in a positive tilt here with the southeastern ridge here, and both showing on the European and the GFS model for the next 6 to 10 days. And this would take us out to probably around the 13th or so of the month of December this month. So basically what we're looking at here is the pattern which is trying to reload, southeast ridge locking in at least somewhat according to both models, especially along the with the European model here, and the Arctic air just holding back to our west across the upper Midwest and the Central Plains. This is going to be the boundary area where we're going to find a precipitation in the form of wintry precipitation to the north and rain to the south of this, and these disturbances will try to override the Arctic boundary and produce a swath of precipitation from southwest to northeast with an active subtropical jet stream and an active polar branch as well during the next 6 to 10 days, and we're going to be monitoring this as we go through the forecast period. But basically right now it doesn't look like we're going to see a true Arctic air mass invasion. Below normal temperatures, yes, at times, but definitely not a cold Arctic outbreak that will last for a period that locks in the winter forecast just yet. So that's going to do it for today. We'll be back bright and early with you again on Wednesday morning. For GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, I'm forecaster Robert Smith. Don't forget, you can always get all your weather information via both websites, live coverage, and also Twitter and Facebook feeds as well. Have a great Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for listening.